we've talked about different ways that we can help people along in their journey of criticism and not just criticism, but discernment within the body of the Messiah. And that's what Rob and I ultimately want to do. And so we've talked about some of these things that we can do. One of the things I want to do is I want to read from books that we are currently in and currently looking at. It just so happens that last night I was walking by my bookshelves, and I do have quite a start to my theological library. And I do this every once in a while, just see a book that I think, oh, I forgot that I had that, or I didn't know that I had that. My father tends to give me boxes of books at a time, which is awesome.
Read these.
Yeah, exactly. Here you go. And one of the things that I've done is I've read this entire book, and it put me to sleep so much. I actually really did not appreciate it. It's by D.A. Carson. Anyone who has spent time in the theological world knows who D.A. Carson is. This book is called Exegetical Fallacies. It is an excellent book, but I remembered when I walked by my bookshelf last night, I remembered that it was just such a snoozer in my mind. And so I picked it up just to see what I would see, and I opened it, and this is the first thing I read, and I want to share this with our listening audience, because I think this is important. And you know, I don't know if I'm going to keep sharing things out of this book. As I look through it, I don't know why it was a snoozer. This thing looks like a dynamite piece of work. D.A. Carson is a dynamite scholar. This is what he says. He says, common fallacies in semantics. The root fallacy. And as soon as I started reading this, I thought of people who use Paleo-Hebrew, you know, word pictures. Yeah.
Like camel head hand.
Yeah, exactly. So he says, one of the most, and I'm going to read 2 pages for you. So this, stay with me for a second. He says, one of the most.
No snoozing allowed.
Yes, no snoozing allowed. He says, one of the most enduring errors, the root fallacy presupposes that every word actually has a meaning bound up with its shape or its components. In this view, meaning is determined by etymology, that is, by the root or roots of a word. How many times have we been told that because the verbal cognate of apostolos, or apostle, is apostello, I send, the root meaning of apostle is one who is sent. In the preface of the New King James Bible, we are told that the literal meaning of monogenes is only begotten. Is that true? How often do preachers refer to the verb agapao, to love, a contrast with phileo, to love, and deduce that the text is saying something about a special kind of loving for no other reason than agapao is used, or agape is how a lot of people would know it.
These are good points.
All of this is linguistic nonsense. We might have guessed as much if we were more acquainted with the etymology of English words. Anthony C. Thielston offers, by way of example, our word nice, which comes from the Latin nescius, meaning ignorant. Our goodbye is a contraction for Anglo-Saxon, God be with you. Now, it may be possible to trace out diachronically just how nescius generated nice. It is certainly easy to...
Diachronically, that means over time, tracing how a certain word accumulates a different meaning from its original etymological source.
It is certainly easy to imagine how God be with you came to be contracted to goodbye. But I know of no one today who, in saying such and such a person is nice, believes that he or she has in some measure labeled that person ignorant because of the root meaning, or hidden meaning, or literal meaning of nice is ignorant. I'll stop there, but his point is well taken. And I think that this is one of the things that the Hebrew roots and Messianic movement has really, really fallen into, is this idea that that there's hidden meaning.
Yeah, they're inventing their own meaning with their limited tools. And Strong's Concordance is usually one of the first helps they think is guiding them in the truth, but they're actually misusing the tool. It would be like trying to use a screwdriver as a hammer or something.